In our top story tonight, Virgin Islands Senator Sammy Sanis has recently come under criticism lately with the media. News Channel 8's Wes Small sat down with Senator Sammy Sanis earlier today to talk about two deadly topics facing the territory, the 8% pay cut and the infamous LEAC.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. I have Honorable Senator Sammy Sanis with us, and we're going to get right to it. The 8% and possibly repeal, and we're going to get into it. Senator, this 8% cut has got people literally shaking in their boots, and now I've heard some press releases over the radio and in print that you found some other avenues, and also I believe 200 jobs, I believe that was the figure, that they could have been hiring during this, fiscal downfall. And you have questions about that and about positions that are eliminated or added. Thank you, Senator. What is going on?
Well, first of all, thank you for letting me present my views. The fact of the matter is that for the past few months, we've been listening to different departments come in front of us in reference to their budget, and we've been gathering information. I particularly a little bit worried that for the past 6 months, there still are individuals being hired. We're talking close to 200 individuals that have been hired for government jobs, and not all of them are federal funded, and not all of them are critical jobs. So that in itself is a big question, because technically, if we're supposed to be in this financial issue that we're facing right now, why are we still hiring? And then to continue, when you listen to the presentations that are being given, for instance, I'll give an example. The IRB, when they came in front of us, they themselves stated that they're not collecting enough taxes. We're talking about one investigator for the entire territory. They don't even have a white-collar crime unit. They themselves once again stated that they're not collecting taxes. There are still gross receipt tax. There are still hotel occupancy tax that are not being collected. That in itself has given me the push to bring forward this repeal of the 8%. Now, I am not trying to ram this anybody's throat. As a matter of fact, I sent a letter to the chairperson of finance for this thing to be heard in October. That will give us enough time to wrap up the budget hearings. That will give us enough time to meet with the union representatives so that we can come into one accord. Wes, the fact of the matter is that the 8% is hurting a lot of people. They are hurting a lot of people. People are crying out. And let me not talk about the LEAC. The LEAC is a monster that unfortunately it's going to take a while for it to be rectified. I'm telling you. And, it's something that we have to come together. This is nothing against the current administration, but we have to come back to the table and work as one for the benefit of the people of the Virgin Islands.
What about layoffs? Are those imminent?
Well, unfortunately, one of the things that was mentioned by the current administration is that even with this 8% in the fiscal year 2012, there is a strong possibility of layoffs. Now, what I'm trying to say is that, are we going to have 8% reduction and layoffs? Are people right now that have seen their check being reduced by 8%, are they also going to be laid off? That's one of the things that we need to face. Throughout the entire world, there is a financial crisis. We're not living in a bubble. This is happening everywhere.
Yes.
But throughout the entire world, people are coming together. And that's what we need to do. We need to forget about the pettiness. We need to forget about the party lines. And we need to come together as one and work towards some solution.
That makes sense. At the 8%, good remedy to that is for all you senators to get together and fight it. So how come you didn't go to court with Chucky and fight the LEAC then?
You know what? I believe we had budget hearings that week, but I want to state for the record, Chucky and I, and I can call her Chucky because we're close. Chucky and I, we discussed it. I back her up 100%. This is one champion that is not backing down. As a matter of fact, I just shared with her just recently some news about the natural gas. As you know, the United States is the #1 producer of natural gas, and this is something that has been part of my platform since 2006. We're coming together. We're going to go to Puerto Rico because, as you know, right now ROP is negotiating with Puerto Rico in reference to getting some power from them, which I think is a viable idea. So Chucky and I, we're in the same page. She's not backing down. She is backing me up, and I'm backing her up.
Senator Sammy Sanis.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Thank you very much. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And we want to thank Senator Sanis for coming forward with that story with us tonight. And in other news, police on St. Croix are investigating an armed robbery on the Christians Dead boardwalk that occurred yesterday afternoon around 1:30. The victim was in the restaurant area of the boardwalk when two suspects demanded money. The suspects threatened to have guns in their waists, and they robbed the victim of $100 and left on foot. If you have any information on those who committed this crime, please call 911 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. And last night on News Channel 8, we exposed the problems at Alexander Henderson School in Frederiksted. Tonight, Insular Superintendent Gary Malloy and his chief maintenance man gave their side of the story.
Thank you very much, Jerome. Well, we're back at Alexander Henderson School, and that was fast. Just a few hours ago, we had Shalima Joseph, PTA activist, public relations person, saying, hey, these schools are not safe. Alexander Henderson, one of them, with mold contamination and so forth. Now, I got to tell you, we're inside. The air conditioning feels real good here. Chief maintenance man for St. Croix Education is William Matthew, Director of Maintenance, and right here, Gary Malloy, Insular Superintendent. Gary, you took another beating yesterday with Miss Joseph about our schools ready. And so what is the situation as we look behind us here?
Yes, Wes, our goal is to make sure that all our schools, including Alexander Henderson, is in as best shape as we can, and to make sure that we meet all the safety requirements for our faculty, staff, and students, and that is our goal. The challenges here at Alexander Henderson, there have been a couple challenges. The one, let me address the major issue. One major issue has been the asbestos that we identified back in 2007, and based on that testing, and we were told that there was asbestos in the tile and mastic, the floor tile. We've developed a management plan, and we have been following the recommendation of that management plan. What has complicated the process here, we have to make sure that regular checks are made of the floor tiles, inspections, to make sure that the cracks are not there, to make sure that everything is in place. Now, we're in the front area where we're having a lot of the issue of the asbestos, or the abatement issue that we're going to be dealing with is here. What the problem is, the rubber tree on the outside, the roots from the rubber tree that we had to cut down, is what is causing the problem with the tile. The root of the tree is gone under the foundation, and as you can see, it's caused some of, and that is the major issue. So what we have to do is get this tree and get the root under control. And then
camera pans there. Is that what Shalima was talking
right
about?
and that is the problem that has to take, that's what is being worked on right now. But they're working on the tree, and then this is the next phase that will be dealt with. In terms of the asbestos, it's been being attacked in two ways. One, either abatement, which means we have to tear up and dig up and take out everything, or encapsulation. So right now, Raycon Mechanical is the company that's been contracted to deal with this particular area, to deal with abatement. They are scheduled, their timeline was to be completed by the 20th of August. The complication to that is, one, the root of the tree where we're dealing with, and two, they're still awaiting the EPA approval, the EPA in Puerto Rico approval to finalize the project. So they've assured us that they will be around the clock to get this component done.
First day of school for Alexander Henderson is?
For first day of school for all students is August 31st.
Are they going to be scheduled to come in? Will they be able to come in, and will they be safe on that day?
And everything is being done to make sure that August 31st is the first day of school for all schools. We're not going to put any of our students or faculty, staff in a building that we deem that's not fit for that.
Well, you know I'll hear about it if you do.
Definitely.
Sir, I know that your job is insurmountable, but will this school be ready? And are there some problems with other schools? Do you have a handle on the situation?
First of all, I must say, first and foremost, that we are aggressively proactive in addressing the health and safety issues in all the schools. To say that the schools are safe, I can safely say that. But it's an ongoing issue that we have to address, because you got to realize these schools are 40 and 50 years old. Regarding the mold situation, we have addressed it, and it's our responsibility now to clean the AC units, and maintain it so that the mold will not reoccur.
Gary Malloy, Insular Superintendent of Schools, thank you. William Matthew, he's head of maintenance. Let's leave it up to these guys for now and at least give them a chance. We'll wait and hear from OSHA, EPA, and St. Croix Environmental Association. We invite you to come down to make sure our students will be safe. Thank you, gentlemen, for not hiding from the media. I'm Wes Small at Alexander Henderson for News Channel 8.
And before we close this section of the news tonight, we want to take a moment out to say goodbye to Novell Francis as he moves on from his post as police commissioner. Taking his place will be Raymond Hinman, and we here at Channel 8 want to thank those men for their service to the territory and wish both of those heroes the best of luck. When we come back from this break, Murder in the Caribbean. Stay with us.